And finally, we are live. Yeah, with some delay, but yeah, well, with serious delay on the screen, but it should be okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what is happening, but yeah, there is delay maybe of 20 seconds on YouTube. Well, okay. But yeah, otherwise we should be ready to go. So thanks a lot, Rajiv, for your time today. I'll also start a separate recording. Yeah, today we are doing final Google Summer of Code demos. So we had 4 projects this year. 3 of them are considered successful by mentors. And we will have presentations today for 2 of the projects. So Rajiv will present the new documentation engine, and then in 2 hours, Jainam will present the K6 integration service. So the third project demo will be published later. That's the plan for today. And yeah, I think that we can just start the presentation.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Oleg. So let me share the screen. Yeah, so hope the screen is visible. So, okay, so hello everyone. This is Rajiv, and I'm going to demo my project on new documentation site engine, which I worked in this Google Summer of Code 2022. So, okay, so this is let me tell me about myself. So I graduated in August 2022 from GSoC College, Bangalore, and I'm working as a SD1 at Lumo. So this new documentation site engine is a like what. So I'm going to give an overview like what things we are solving and how we have gone through other alternatives, how we tackle this problem and all. So um, so okay, so this is the agenda of the today demonstration. So I will be giving overview of the project and how we tackle problems and all. Then I will give an overview of the starting phase of my work, the second phase of my work, the GSoC divided in 2 phases. And at last, I'm going to give an overview of work done, like what work is left, challenges I face, and those stuff. So okay, so first I will give an overview like what a new doc site engine is. So we know that Keptn has a doc site which is based on Hugo, and we are facing problem in that. And to solve those problems, we wanted a new doc site for Keptn. And it's like the problems what we are talking is like SEO's problem, versioning support, multi-doc support, not well structured. It's very hard to structure the docs. Like a lot of manual work we used to do what we have currently. So we wanted to overcome those things, and we decided we gone through that other libraries and all. Like we at the starting of the GSoC, we had. Make a difference between we choose 2 tool. One was Antora and one was Docusaurus, and we want to decide one. So we differentiate between those. We have a docs for that. You can find in the report. And so we thought like Docusaurus is something we should go for. So what the Docusaurus is like? Docusaurus is a tool by Facebook. It's open source. We can say a tool which makes websites for documentations. Like it's very easy to use. It has a Markdown MDX support, like Markdown plus JavaScript. Mean that we can render the JavaScript code inside the Markdowns, and a lot of features it has. And for that reason, we move with Docusaurus. So this is the a simple outline of work I did in phase 1 and phase 2. I'm going to give a demo on all the points. And so yeah, so if you go to, okay, so the first step was to initialize the Docusaurus site from scratch, like a simple skeletal of a Docusaurus site, and adding, so it is so when we initialize a Docusaurus site, we it comes with by default templates and components, and we want to refactor it according to the Keptn. And so that I did it, the some UI UX changes. Here the UI UX changes is not according to the uh, feedback given by the community or something. It is like we want something to show, so we want to remove the default templates and all. The doc site look like some this. So yeah, so this is the doc site. I'm previewing the, yeah, so this is the structure of a doc site, how it look like. We have a dark mode, and it by default supported by the Docusaurus. And we have the uh, down like neighbor and all, like stuff. So this is the UI UX, what I did, like the sidebar and all. And so the next was adding like the so this is the UI exchanges, removing the by default templates and all. So next was to add a search functionality. So when we go to the current doc site, so Kptn, so we don't have any search functionality. We can't search the docs. So that I've added in the new doc site engine. So we have a search. It will work only when it is live. So let me go through that maybe installation, and I want to search some like Kptn instance. So I think, yeah. Okay, let me search some. Oh, okay. It's loading, I guess. Yeah, and, yeah. So if I search something like some anything you search, it will come to the nearest of the whatever it's found in the docs, and it's giving us the latest docs. So this is the old, I didn't updated it, so it is the 17, now it's 19. So but we have like, okay, so it just gives the latest, it gives the content from the latest docs, not from the older and all. So that's how the search works. The other was like the adding the versioning support. So the current docs we used to add manually, like it's going to like we used to put in the docs all the in the religious section different docs. It's very hard to manage for a large number of docs. So what Docusaurus gives is like we can version the docs. So we have a 19 version. So what we have to do is like just run a command yarn run and the version thing. So basically it worked like yarn run, uh, yarn run, and just create and version of that, what new version we want to create. So we have a 19 version and we want to create a 28th version to 0.20.x. So what it does is like when we run the command, it just copy all the current 19 versions and duplicate it, something like this. So we have this 19. So it will create one more folder, 0.20.x, and it will duplicate all the docs. So we don't have, and then according to us, we can edit the docs. So that feature is to provided by Docusaurus. And so this is the latest version, 19 version. And we have a next version, like if you want to showcase like a next, what releases we are going to do next iteration and all. So if you click on the next, it's going to say like this is the latest, is the next version, and latest is this. So also it gives we are giving a lot, like, okay, you are in the not, you are not in the latest version, or you are like, if I go to 17 version, you are in the older version and not, it's not maintained or something. So this is all about the versioning support for the Docusaurus. Okay, so the main, so these two features, the adding the versioning support and the multi-doc support, were the two critical issues we want to solve via new doc site engine. So adding a multiple doc support. So this feature is we are not sure, we are not able to do fully, like not like I'm not telling you we're not able to, but partially. According to me, we want more automation on that. So I'll showcase what we did. So first I will go give an overview like what a multi-doc support is. So we wanted other documentation to be merged, to be rendered in this site engine. So if you want like developer docs, we wanted to add the docs for that in the this site in this only. So we wanted to pull docs and organize it in the new doc site engine. So to achieve this, we went through different approaches. You can find those all the approaches we tried in the report. But the starting was to writing a GitHub action, which can pull the docs from the repo and structure it. We write a GitHub action, but like we that GitHub action was not a structured one. Like it can pull a doc, but we wanted not to pull, but also to organize in the different sections. So that was not didn't work out. Then we tried using the Keptn generate docs command. So this command is like what we are using now. It pulled the Keptn CLI docs and put it in a Hugo site. So we went through the Go code, how it does, but that was not sufficient, because the Go code what we have in here is like according to Hugo. So when we see so we can't use in Docusaurus, because the front matter it generates is not according to the Docusaurus side. So these are not supported in Docusaurus. So we wanted something to change this, and anyway we have to like run this in batches, because this will generate only docs for Keptn CLI, not like overall. Like we wanted some more of generic approach. So that is also like something we didn't it doesn't work out like nicely. So we then we tried a plugin called Docusaurus remote content. So what it does is like it pulls docs so from the other repository, but the thing is that we have to specify all the file name, like but we can't do that. Like a lot of, if you want to pull a lot of documentation like a tutorial or something, we can't specify all the names and all. So for to overcome this, I have written a like JavaScript file which in which we don't have to specify file name. Yeah, we just have to put filters. So filters, you mean the, if you want to pull all MD docs, so just have to put the star MD or something. So what I'm doing is that so I'm using a GitHub API, like so I'm using a GitHub API which can list a document like three API. So when I call when I call that API, it is going to pull all the, it's going to give a list of all the documents of the repository, and repository I'm specifying here like the repo name and all. So it's going to pull all the list of documents, and in that code only I'm applying some filters. So we have a include filters, exclude folder, that these things I'm passing in the docker config file. So this is the main code where all the logic is written. And so okay, I'll show you how it works. So first we have to obviously import the file, and then I have to specify the repo name from where I want to pull docs, which repo. So I have already showcase here. So I'm just, for demo purpose, I have used these two repo, one in Hensfest proposal and one in Keptn developer docs. This is also not a repo, like this is inside a Keptn. So even we can pull some folder also, not whole repo, or we can pull a whole repo also. So I specify here the repo organization name. Then I have to give a repo name and then the branch which you want to pull. So we can customize this more, like to have like maybe we want to pull from some other branches or some to have some all edge cases covered. So I just give 3 parameters. So these three things we have to specify. Now we have to give the filters. So how it's structured, like we have to give the include filters and exclude filters. So these are the files or filters which we want to pull. So I want to pull all the MD files, all the MDX and PNG files, and I don't want to pull the .github, because if I pull .md file, it's going to pull the pull request templates too, and I don't want that. So we can exclude all the folders which we don't want to. So let me, when we run the yarn command, it's going to pull all the docs. Let me delete some docs here. So it's just pull docs/developer from Keptn. Let me delete this and we'll run that. And now it's empty. Let me delete this too. Now the Keptn docs Keptn developer, this is empty thing. So when I run, it's going to populate all the files. So these are the files which is inside the Keptn, which is inside this Keptn thing. This is inside docs developer. It just pull all the docs in here. So you can see in docs, even the assets also is pulled because I have specified PNG files. So it's just pull all the docs according to, I didn't specify any name on all. Like if I want to pull like even same with the enhancements proposal too. So if I go to enhancement, let me see. Yeah. So okay, so it just pull all the docs. Let me like remove this exclude filter for enhancement proposal. So now we have in do this two readme MD files. See, automatically it just I removed exclude. It's worked dynamically. So I removed the exclude filter. It's just pull other docs also .github also. So it just because how it dynamically pull, because it's still running, right? So just pull all the docs this two. Earlier I was not specifying it. So 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 this how this we have achieved the multi-doc support, but we wanted more automation, like we wanted some cron job or something, or even one some issues with what the issues are. So the thing is that API, what I'm calling here in the this file, it has a rate limit, so we can't do again um, like here now I have a specified token. That's why like rate limit may like 6 times 4. I don't know what is the stats of that, how many times we can call it, but now I can call anytime because I have providing a token to break. So via token I can do as much time. So that we can improve it by maybe caching the files. Like if I'm again running the yarn command, it's going to pull, but we already have the docs. Why to pull again? So to we can have a one more function we can, which checks whether the docs are there or not. But even for that also we have to check it. We wanted to pull first to get a list of it. So there is a rate limit for that this API. So that we can work on. It is solvable. It is solvable. So now we are pulling the, so it's just pull the docs here. So that's how this multi-doc support works. Um, and so but still manual work has to be done. Now I can pull all the docs MDs file, or but we don't have anything here, like we have to add from front matter and all according to Docusaurus, because how will you increase the SEOs and all. So I will give a demo also, like so we have it, it's Keptn. This is already pulled. So no, not this one. Keptn developer docs. So this is the docs folder. It's like that. It will work because I didn't provide a front matter, still it will work like how Docusaurus work. It takes any MD file and it just render it. Yeah, we have to see manually, like if anything is breaking snippets, or like see something is like I think we are specifying some icon or something, so that we have to see. So this is like pulled from a pull request. So that is this is like the deployed version. So I didn't put any docs and all. It automatically pulls docs when we run the command. So this is all about the multi-doc support, how we achieve it. Um, we can improve a lot via updating this file. The, I just added a demo, like I just added like some basic, like getting a list of document and then adding inside a document, passing exclude, include filters. We can improve a lot and just calling the in config. So yeah, so this is all about the multi-doc support, and all the things we have tried and all are in the report. And maybe though we didn't this Keptn generate docs, it doesn't work out accordingly, but we can integrate that, or maybe we can write a general go file for all, not for the Keptn CLI but for all docs. And yeah, that was something we have worked on. One more thing, like also we have improved the SEOs of site. So earlier we don't have how we improve SEOs is like so when we go to the roadmap, and so we can specify tags and all. So when we see the docs thing, we have we can specify tags here to this. These things are very helpful when we want to search, like find all the docs related to the roadmap, so it will list all there. That and all Docusaurus provides. uh, even the we can specify the meta image. So when we copy this thing and go to meta tags, so earlier docs we are not able to get any description of any page or something. Now we can have a description, we can have a meta image. These all things are comes in the improving SEOs. So these all things we can specify in the front matter, and we can add a lot of stuff like in front matter keyword, like I just added for demo purpose. Also when we go to the site, we won't find so much content here, because content migration is something we still working on, because we are not decided what content should comes in the new doc site, and structuring of it's something we wanted more discussion on that. uh, okay, so this is the work of phase one. Phase two is more related to about adding tools to the new doc site. So we have integrated the Lighthouse CI. So first of all, this Lighthouse is not is a Keptn Lighthouse thing. It is the like web. So Lighthouse is a tool which gives report about the websites, how much it is optimized, how much JavaScript is used, and all. So so what is this, like when you make a PR here, like I did a PR this, so it's going to give a lighter score. Key this PR, whatever the changes we are doing here, is how much is affecting the current status of the site. So it's going to give a performance of this. It's going to, I know this is an approximate, but it's going to give a insight of it, how much we are changing stuff. And when we click on the report, it give a overall report of it, like okay, this is like the SEO is 90 and this performance is like very less, so we can improve more. So we can get a, this is the just a GitHub action, like. So this is the, we can get an insight about the site the page using the Lighthouse. Okay. So the next is like a Whale linter for doc quality checks. So Whale is a tool like which gives like syntax stuff, linting syntax and all pros. So we have integrated this Whale. Like we didn't go through directly. Like we had a, it's, you can find in report like how we went through Whale instead of pros lint, and why Whale was good and all. So this is also like how Whale works is like whenever the anything syntax. So we are, as of now we are following the Google style guide, and anything which doesn't follow the Google style guide is going to give a error. Okay, you are not following this rule or something. Uh, Google style guide I followed because that is more popular, and we are not decided as of now what we are going to follow for Keptn. That is still different discussion. Like, should we go for a Google style guide with customize, or we can write our own rules for Whale, that stuff and all. So, so Whale is something which used to linter syntax, pros and all, for just improve the quality of docs. we have a prettier GitHub action. So obviously, okay, so we are using Docusaurus, and most of things are in we play with Markdown, MDX, and all. And we wanted something which can like we can't make sure every time we like I have like automatic linters, so it automatically format. We have a prettier, so it automatically format the stuff. But not all people see like if some highlights are left or something. So to make sure so what prettier does is that like it just format the docs automatically whenever we make a PR. Still that is stuff we are still didn't merge it like still no so that is merged, so that is still we have wanted to improve because that is auto commit, so auto commit is not good. It just auto commit it and whenever we find anything indentation and all, so prettier that's what this. So then we have adding GitHub action to check broken links. So okay, so XRFs broken links is something we want. We have in the Hugo, but we wanted more like more robust stuff. So I will give a like. So what a new broken link checker does is like when you so whenever there is a broken link or any file XRF missing or something, it just create an issues and is just tag. So I will overview here. So like failing link check. So whenever there is a broken link, is going to make an issue, and it's just going to assign it. We can like how is assigning me is like I can specify anyone in the GitHub action. Like if you go to GitHub action style uh, workflow, so daily link checker. So we can specify cron, and even we can specify the assignees. Not there. I think here we can well, we can specify the assignees also like group or something, and it's going to assign it. We can specify the tags. Okay, so this like label, sorry, which label should put in this issue. So just make an issue and just call the person who can see. Okay, so when I click on the and to see the where the is broken or something, we can see the workflow logs. And when you click here, just for a demo purpose, I created earlier. So it just gives okay here the lint is not there or something is not working. So we can go manually and check it. So this is the new markdown checker lint checks thing we have like here. Yeah. So also the lighthouse action. Okay, so this is the PTR action. This is the whale linter and lighthouse report YAML, and the whale linter style guide and all are here. So this is the Google style we're following, and also in the whale it might false checks also. So we can specify the vocab accept text like maybe KEP and KPTN or something is like it, Google can make it, say oh, okay this is the wrong spelling, but we wanted that, so we can specify that stuff in the vocab/KPTN this in these files. So okay, so this is all about the phase 2 work. And so this is the whole overview of work we did, and some more topics are there like which we wanted to focus on. Like the main was the making automating more the multi-doc support. It's working fine, I think, but we wanted more like okay, so you can see here the API that limit exceeded because called a lot of times. And so okay, so future work to be done. So this is the work which is I think this is very important, and there are other suggestions too which you can find it here in these links. So first was the enhancing the multi-repository doc support feature, having a UI UX proper structure UI UX. I mean that as of now we have this website. It's look good according to me, but other people might have a different feedback on it. Okay, we wanted this all down thing to be hashed this side or something. So that structure UI UX rule should be we can have migrating docs. So still the current docs. So Meg has written note on the structuring of docs so that we can follow and move the contents to the older doc site to the new doc site. And Okay, so even in the installation phase, earlier in the doc side we have a box thing here, so we used to leave the main. So when we go to here, so when we go to installation, so we have we people try to, like, they don't know we have a content down, and they used to see this and they move. So these things and all is to tackle manually. So I have removed here installation, that box thing we don't need, because anyhow that will come in sidebar. Now it's not coming because I didn't added content. To why to see again here and again in the sidebar, it's just waste. And so that's things and all we can tackle the while migrating the docs. uh, this is the second third point, and there's a fourth was writing our own custom rule. I'm not sure we have to write or not, because as of now we are following Google style guide for well linter. mm, and also the one more which is I got suggestion in Keptn doc channel, like having a component which can render shipyard files. So when we see this Slack block, so what I'm talking is like about like something like this. Uh, so the action. So we can just it just render like we can specify some payload, and it is going to render something like block it like something like this. So we can provide a payload. I'll show you. Yeah, so we are providing a payload and it just generate this UI. So that so we will provide a CPR files, and it will going to generate something, render it. So that component, it is achievable because Markdown Docusaurus support JavaScript, so we can create a component in JavaScript. Other works and suggestion, which is by Meg, me, and my mentor Suraj, and so that and all are in the here you can find it. But these are the main crucial thing which can be the feature work to be done. Mhm. Yeah, so the challenges faced. So the main challenge was to the multi-top support, which is still I feel like is we can automate it more, and we are not able to do it. Yeah, it is all one of the learning. We learn a lot of ways we cannot achieve that, but now we think that we might get help. Like I said you, like Keptn CLI thing earlier, it was not working, but now I think we can use in our current JavaScript code something, maybe run that thing in batches, not a single time. Or um, yeah, so that I was the second was like I was a little bit didn't understand the proper multi-doc support thing, because like okay, so we wanted a multi-doc support, but we want to, in what sense, like we wanted to pull only docs, or what type of docs we want to pull, or txt file or a markdown file, or anything we have to specify, or all the docs, whether we wanted that. That was a thing. And the third one was like sometimes we used to find little bit, not this is not a serious problem, finding the scheduling the meetings and all, like at some different time zone. mm, uh, yeah, so learning is or learning like first of all, like this whatever I've listed here is like it's just some points which I think is important, but I learned a lot of stuff which I didn't mention here. The one was like having a POC is very important, and we, even after having a POC, we are not sure we are able to achieve, because things changes as we move. And the so that is one of learnings. And the other one, on if you talk about text style, I learn a lot about Docker, GitHub Actions, linting, and all structuring and planning of projects, like how we document it, and working with the team, like sharing the thoughts and getting a feedback, and then start working. Yeah, so thank you for the yeah, so thank you everyone. Like you can find all the stuff and in this repository, all the reports, all the meetings, and all you can find, like everything is I've organized it here, even in the community repository of the Keptn. And yeah, thank you everyone.
Thanks for the presentation. And yeah, good overview of the project. So I would give some time to mentors to share their feedback and opinion about what needs to be done next. So, Meg, Suresh, would you like to share?
Suresh, you want to go first?
I was going to say the same to you. No issues. I think, well, you put me in a spot. Let me think. um, I'll first go over the future work that needs to be done. I think we need to migrate a lot of our old documentation to the new documentation site. That and there are some use cases around putting docs from multiple repositories, which still need to be covered, like um, pulling the auto-generated docs from the Keptn command, the docs that Keptn command generates. That's something we need to do. That and I think migrating docs is probably the biggest thing that we need to do, styling and all of that. That is what I can think of when it comes to future work. And um, the other thing would be to start migrating some of our docs to the new docs engine and see how it works. We would like to receive more feedback from the community in general before we start using it across the board for all of our docs. As for feedback for Rajiv or the overall project, I think the project will add a lot of value for us. We initially faced some hiccups because of multiple time zones. It was mostly around finding the right time for everyone. And eventually we found the right time and we were able to work it out. Overall, I think Rajiv was very consistent with the work. I think one of the things, and I think Rajiv mentioned it also, is managing the priority, making which item to pick up next, basically based on the priority. It's something we could have done better in the project. But overall, I think it would be a great value addition to the community. That's all I have.
Yeah, I agree. We need to, I think we probably messed up. We should have gotten more of the content over there just because you see things, it's one thing when it's in the abstract, and when you start seeing your own docs in there, you start seeing issues. Another point that I think we messed up a little bit, not getting a full understanding of what we needed early on. The multi-doc support especially is, as I see it, there are sort of three phases of that. One is the CLI reference pages, which are already being pulled in from another repo. Not the most elegant implementation, but it works. And that I think we should have, understood that. What I think happened was Rajiv knew that Docusaurus had this multi-repo support, and when we said multi-repo support, he went towards enter the tooling without sitting back and saying, what exactly do you mean for that? And I think, we all thought we all had our understanding of that, and I'm not sure we were as good as we should have been up front, making sure we were all clear about it. And again, with priorities, I'm not sure when you had we started out with a very ambitious project list, and some of the most critical things that we were doing first. When he ran into trouble with those, we just moved on, and it meant that he got more of the other features in, but it means the key features didn't get done. But it was a real pleasure working with you, Rajiv. You did a lot of work. I think we're going to be able to take good use from this. And hi, Mo. It's good to see you joining us. Do you have anything to say about this at the end of the project?
Nothing more to say, really. It looks pretty good. I'm looking forward to Actually using it, of course, and then improving it a little bit, especially with the multi-repo stuff. But generally, awesome work. Great stuff.
Okay. Any additional feedback from the team? So, under Mohan, maybe you would like to share something?
Now, I think Meg and Suraj covered most of the stuff, but what I would like to add is that Rajiv did wonderful work. So we have really solid base on which we can build the actual documentation afterwards. It's really wonderful. And moving forward, what I feel is that as early as we can move the content, we would see the changes that we really need to do. For instance, there are certain syntax changes compared to the Google version and the Docusaurus. So I think that should be the next step, that we should move content as soon as possible to the new one and then work on the changes that are required. That's the only thing that I would add.
Yeah. So for me, from org-admin perspective, well, actually, I was one of the people who was pushing for this project, because I think that it's really important to upgrade our documentation to the new engine. Now with more sub-projects happening, like Keptn Lifecycle Controller, other projects we discuss at community meetings, it definitely makes sense to design them for new documentation structure right away. So for that, having external repository support and other features would be essential to adopt the new documentation engine. I hope that we would be able to finalize this feature. So I see the scripts, etc. And yeah, looks like this work is almost done. And for us, it would be super important to actually have the new engine when we roll out documentation for the new projects. For Keptn, it's also quite useful at the moment. So we would be releasing Keptn LCS. I'm not sure whether we would move it to the new documentation engine or not right away, but let's see. We definitely have a lot of projects to play with. Thanks Rajiv for his work, and thanks to all the mentors. So let's see how the adoption goes in the community. So of course, my expectation was a bit higher on the adoption part, because my perception that the project was not very connected to the community during the implementation, and it's actually my main feedback to mentors and to Rajiv, because when you operate in GSoC, one of the important things is to actually work in the open source community and to get traction. So when you have project in isolation, it has limited value and limited contribution to the community. And also you don't get much feedback. So questions like external documentation, etc., if the requirements weren't clear, the main thing would be to reach out to the wider community right away. So there are community meetings, there are other channels, and I think this is how it should have been done. So if you see in blocker, etc., the worst thing you can do in a project like GSoC is to just keep it to yourself as a team, because there is a wider community where consensus could be built, where there is a lot of experts working with documentation, with code, with automation, and we could have defined the requirements here and there, and probably it could have helped the project to complete this part more quickly. So yeah, that's the main feedback from my perception, but otherwise, yeah, it's still a valuable experiment for the community, and I really hope that we roll out the documentation engine for some of the components soon. Okay, so thanks everyone. Any additional questions, comments before we close the stream?
I had one around the community outreach. I think there were attempts at engaging with the community, but as a community, I think we need to be more active in general. Especially, I saw when we tried reaching out to the community for feedback in Keptn Docs channel, we didn't receive as much feedback. So that is something we should be working on. And for mentors as a learning, I think we should have tried to make the outreach more visible and went to more wider channel where we would have received much wider response. That is something we could have done, and it's a learning for us.
I agree.
Mhm. Okay.
And special
So-
thanks to Moritz, by the way, who, when we got in trouble with the CLI docs, jumped right in and provided all sorts of help and good advice.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
much appreciated.
Thanks. That's-
When I forgot to put my camera on again, shoot.
Yeah, when you present, it's actually
Thanks,
quite
Morris, with the
important.
camera on.
Yeah, especially for the stream, because otherwise the stream just shows me and Rajiv and somebody is talking from the background. So Baby is quite strange in this regards, how it streams to YouTube, but whatever.
I should have prepared more for this, really. Sorry
Well,
about that.
I just have a green screen because there is no background support for Baby either.
Yeah, but what about the makeup that you have to do on your face? I look like I don't know, clown.
Do I seem like I did any makeup this morning? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, thanks everyone. So just a quick heads up, in 10 minutes we will have a community meeting. I think it will be super short, but let's see. And then in 1 hour we have a presentation by Janam who will show K6 integration service. So if you're interested, please join, and yeah, see you then.
And thanks again, Rajiv. I hope you'll continue to participate in the community. We've enjoyed having you here.
Yeah.
That's
And
Yeah.
good
Sure.
luck with your new job, too.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for everything, like mentors and all, and also the Keptn community for giving me opportunity for GSoC. Yeah. Thanks, Oleg and everyone.
Thanks. Okay, so
Okay.
bye everyone.
Yeah.
And,
Bye.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye.